Hey everyone, welcome to Relatively Refined. My name is Patty. In today's video, it is March, it is St. Patrick's month here, and I'm going to be making an Irish stew, specifically a Guinness Irish stew. You can modify this, make it however you like it. This is just a general way that I like to cook it. But let's head on into the kitchen and get chopping and make this delicious, simple, classic Irish stew. Let's go. Okay, I have pulled out the ingredients that I'm going to need for my Guinness beef stew. I'm doing it really simply. And there's a few tweaks that I made to the recipe, which will be linked in the description box. I am cutting the recipe almost in half, just about in half. And there's a few things that I'll be omitting, so I'll let you know as I go. But basically I need stew beef, and I think I have about a little bit under 1.5 pounds. Some carrots. I had way more carrots than I need. I'll only be using maybe 3 or 4 carrots in this. An onion. I only had a red onion. I think yellow would probably be better, but some beef stock. I have this Better Than Bouillon, which I love. Beef, garlic, or in my case, jarlic, because that's how I roll. Key ingredient here is Guinness. I have a 14.9 ounce can of Guinness Draft Stout. Now, if you don't want to put Guinness in your beef stew, that is totally fine. You can just substitute the beef stock or chicken stock or vegetable stock, whatever you like. We're going to need some tomato paste. And then for seasoning, and some flour here to thicken. And for seasonings, the recipe doesn't call for this, but I have them on hand in case I need them. Some onion powder, some garlic powder, of course, salt and pepper. And then I think thyme would probably be your best spice in this, but I have some rosemary from my plant, so I'm going to be adding some fresh rosemary to mine. But again, I do think like thyme, a bay leaf, those would be really great in it. So that is how I'm going to get started. It does call for celery. I have some celery, but I'm not going to put it into the beef stew. It is not a favorite around here. I happen to love celery, but I'm so used to cooking without it because my husband and one of my sons just does not like it. So we're leaving that out of it. And also a really good ingredient, which it does call for, and I'm not adding, is bacon. So I will be omitting the bacon just because I really don't need the additional fat and cholesterol, but I do think the flavor would be over the top with the addition of bacon. So I'm going to keep mine as simple as possible. And if you want to add bacon, it is in the recipe, but just know it's just as good. Well, maybe not just as good. It's very good without it. So, all right, let's get started. So let's start out by just prepping the vegetables and the meat. I'm just going to wash and peel. I'm not sure how many carrots I used. They were very thin, so I think I used maybe 4 or 5 carrots. They were definitely on the smaller side, and I cut them into pretty small chunks, like maybe little 1/2-inch chunks. You can see here I'm kind of rough chopping. I do end up coming back and making them about 1/2 inch or so. Do it to your liking. Some people like more rustic chunks in theirs. I tend to like more like a bite-sized piece of carrot. And again, I think I did use several more carrots than I planned. I would say maybe 5 or 6 carrots. I'm also adding a few more carrots than the recipe called for because I omitted the celery. So the carrots and onions are really going to be the only other vegetables in this beef stew. This recipe does not call for potatoes in the stew, and that's one of the reasons I like it. I generally don't like potatoes in my soups and stews. I don't know why, I just don't. I prefer to have the potatoes either mashed, creamy mashed on the side, or have my stew or soups or whatever stews on top of it. So anyway, that's why I'm adding a few more carrots here. There is just carrots and onions in this particular stew. I'm also going to chop up an onion. You can use any onion you like. I had a red onion on hand and it was perfectly fine. Most of this will cook down and it will not be significant. There won't be chunks or anything in your beef stew. It really cooks down, almost disappearing into the broth. The next thing I'm going to do is to trim and chop down the stew beef chunks. I find the chunks that you buy pre-cut are just too big, and I want them to be uniform, and so I cut them down to pretty much bite-sized chunks. Each cube at least gets cut in half, some get cut into thirds. And yes, it is perfectly safe and hygienic to use a wooden cutting board for your meat. I clean it afterwards and before, and my cutting boards are treated and they are perfectly food safe. And after washing my hands, I do take this opportunity to season my stew beef pretty liberally with salt, pepper, and because I can't help myself, I do add some garlic powder and onion powder. So I'm using my Dutch oven. I am adding some avocado oil and I'm going to crank it up to medium-high heat and let that get good and hot. And then I am basically just going to put the stew beef in and let it brown. You really just want to get a good crisp on it, some good caramelized color on the bottom. So you may need to do this in batches. Mine was big enough and I had because I was doing it in half, there was plenty of room for all of it to fit. And once you get it in there, just let it sit in the oil. Don't fuss with it. It's not a stir fry. Just let it sit there and flip it over when it gets a good crust on it. I'm just trying to spread the beef around so it's not too crowded in there. So each piece has its own contact with the bottom of the pan. That's all I'm doing. I'm not really zhuzhing it around or stir frying it. I'm just trying to make sure every bit has space. So mine fit in one batch. I have a large Dutch oven here. And the key here is don't mess with it. Just let it sit and get a good caramel crust on, flip it, and then take it off the heat. And then after the beef is removed, I'm adding the onion and garlic. I'm going to let that go for about 3 minutes, just until soft. Stirring the onions and garlic, getting them nice and soft. It looks amazing. If you need to add oil, go for it. I did not. I had plenty. Now it's at this point you would add your bacon if you were adding bacon to it. I'm not, so I'm just going to let it go a little bit longer to account for the bacon. So then I'm going to add my carrots. You could also add your celery. I'm just going to add my carrots. And I'm just going to stir those around a little bit.
absorb. Now I'm going to sprinkle in my flour and just let that cook for about a minute till it's absorbed. Now I'm going to deglaze the pan. I'm going to add my Guinness, about half a can. Just adding my liquids now, my Guinness. And this is a great way to deglaze that pan. Get all those delicious bits up off the bottom. So here I have added just the Guinness, and you can see how glossy and thick it's already getting. Just deglazed all the bits off the bottom. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add the beef stock. All right, this is pretty well deglazed. There's some, but it looks pretty good. And now I'm gonna add the beef stock. And I'm also gonna add about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. That will also add to the richness. I love to add tomato paste to pretty much anything. Now would also be the time to add bay leaf or thyme. I'm just going to throw in a few sprigs of rosemary. Let those cook down. So now I'm going to slide the beef back in, including all of the juices. So this is what it looks like. You want the juice to cover, you want it to just cover the beef like it is now. So I'm going to put a lid on this, turn it down, and I'm going to let it simmer for several hours. And since I only used a half a glass in my recipe, guess what? The other half is for me. Sláinte. I won't be able to split the G on this one because it's not in an official Guinness glass, but sláinte. All right, so I've had it going for about 2 hours with the lid on a simmer. And now I'm gonna head over, I'm gonna take the lid off and let it go about 30 more minutes to thicken up and finish off. So I'm gonna head over to the stove now, just take the lid off and let it go another 30 minutes. And this is the perfect time to go ahead and make your mashed potatoes. So as you noticed, this stew does not have potatoes in it. I prefer soups and stews that do not have potatoes in them. I prefer things served over mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna let it go 30 minutes uncovered on low. It smells and looks so good. I love the dark color from the Guinness and the tomato paste. This is gonna be so delicious. All right, I'm gonna let this go and make my mashed potatoes. This looks just like Irish stew I was served in Ireland. It has that dark, rich color, nice and thick, served over a pillowy bed of mashed potatoes. This is to be eaten with a fork. This is not a spoon stew. It looks and smells delicious. I'm so excited. This looks so gorgeous. The color on this beautiful dark color is absolutely glorious. And over a bed of fluffy mashed potatoes, I'm so excited. And this is fork stew. This is very thick. You can always thin it out to your liking, but I love it just like this. Let's give it a try. Chef's kiss. This is so good. It has a really nice, rich flavor.
from the tomato paste and the Guinness and the beef broth. It is perfectly seasoned, simple. I like just the carrots. The onions have kind of worked their way in, so they are just like a flavor note. And this is so delicious. I really, really hope you will try this. One more bite. So good. All right, everyone, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. This Irish stew is so good. I really, really hope you will give it a try and let me know your thoughts in the comments. It is a good, hearty, eat with a fork kind of stew, and it is just perfect for St. Patrick's Day or really any other day. It is absolutely delicious, and I'm sure if there are any leftovers, they're even better the next day. All right, everyone, thanks again for watching. If you wouldn't mind, I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have ever had Irish stew, if you have a favorite Irish stew recipe, or if you are team potatoes in the stew, or if you are like me and you are team stew without potatoes, but served over mashed potatoes. I would love to know. All right, everyone, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I want to wish you a very, very happy St. Patrick's Day. Sláinte. I hope you are well, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.